What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Tay&K. Taylor here, and today we're going to be looking at a little overview and my personal review of Friday the 13th, the video game. Now, before we dive deep down the rabbit hole, we're going to do a brief overview of what Friday the 13th is. For anyone who doesn't know, Jason, the scary guy who wears a hockey mask, is from the Friday the 13th series. Where this game takes place is at 3 different locations across the Friday the 13th world, one being the iconic Camp Crystal, of course. And what it does is it pits 7 camp counselors against the one nearly, air quotes, unstoppable Jason Voorhees. Alright, so behind the main premise of the 7v1, in a sense, gameplay that it provides, there is no single player story, and it is a merely multiplayer online experience. You can do a private match, but most of your entertainment is going to be found with the in-game matchmaking. Now, before you hop in, you have your selection of counselor and Jason preferences. Jasons come in many different forms, and you're allowed to play each of these forms as you unlock them through their level progression. Much of the same with the counselors. There are several different counselors you can play, each with their own attributes, just like Jason. And they each can provide a certain quality of gameplay to your experience. Along with that experience, the counselors have their attributes with like composure, stealth, that sorts, but you also get perks, which also play an important role. Now, as you play the game and you get XP, you're going to earn, a currency in a sense that allows you to purchase these perks. Perks can both be sold and bought once you have them. So you can keep rolling in a sense. It's a sort of loot box for an individual loot. It's randomized what you're going to get, and there are certain rarities to them, such as common, uncommon, rare, and epic. And I believe there's a 5th one somewhere in there. Now, Jason does not have perks. He has certain kills that he's allowed to use, because really, Jason's pretty unstoppable. He really doesn't need any extra perks. Now, I do want to mention, normally I wouldn't look at settings. However, there is a setting in there that says that's something along the effect of open voice to the open world or something like that under sound settings. I recommend using this. What that does is that enables proximity chat. So when you're in the game, if you're using like a nice pair of Turtle Beaches or something like that, rather than when you get up close to somebody, you just hear them like they're standing next to you, it actually comes in proximity. So if they're far away, they actually come in like whispering at first because you can barely hear them, and the closer they get, you can hear them, but not only that, you get your directional. So if they're talking, behind you to your right, you're going to hear that. So I recommend using that whenever you get a chance. Now, actually hopping into the gameplay, the game is going to do some sort of algorithm between the 8 players that are in a party or matchmaking, and one of those individuals is going to be Jason. The other 7 will be counselors. It's at random, usually most games. Sometimes some people say it goes to the host, but I haven't necessarily seen that the case. But anyways, you're going to have 1 Jason and 7 counselors. You will each start randomly somewhere on one of the 3 maps, and the whole point of the game is to go around to these cabins looking for certain items that you need. Certain items that you may find throughout this world is a map, a radio. Those are your 2 basics. The radio allows you to talk to other players wherever they are on the map, if they also have a radio. And a map obviously allows you to see where certain important items are, such as the 2 cars that can be found throughout the game, a boat, and that's pretty much it. And roads. Great, right? So, but furthermore, you can even find certain weapons to arm yourself with, such as a machete, monkey wrench, and certain baseball bats and items like that. Even a shotgun if you're able to locate it. And within drawers, you find pocket knives that allows you to get away from Jason, as well as, keys to start the car, and certain other little items you might need to, distract Jason, such as fireworks. Now, the goal of the game is to escape if you're a counselor. These escape methods can be anywhere between calling the police, using one of two cars that are found throughout the maps. There's a 4-door version and a 2-door version, and using a boat. Those are your 4 options, or running out the time. Running out a 20-minute counter is a bit long, though, especially with Jason being nearly unstoppable. So the police is the most simplest of these 4, I guess, or 5 ways to escape. You find a fuse, you repower on the box, and you call the police and wait 5 minutes. The hardest part is getting to where the police are, because Jason usually camps that area. Now, the 2 cars operate the same way. They need gas to be filled, they need a battery to be installed, and they need you to find the keys to start the car. Now, each one of these processes goes through like a little mini game where you have to press like L1 or R1 or a series of buttons to install the item. During this time, of course, Jason can come up and kill you. And much like the car is the boat. The boat needs a propeller and gas, and you're off. The boat is easier than the cars, I have found. It's usually pretty difficult to find the 3 items, especially the keys, because you have to look in each one of the drawers, whereas a propeller is still kind of difficult. It's a small item, but it's not in drawers. You will find it sitting out. The same with a gas can. You'll see a big red gas can sitting somewhere. And another option you have is you can call in Tommy Jarvis. Now, if anyone knows the lore behind the actual movies, Tommy Jarvis is the one individual to kill Jason. One lucky dead player who got killed at some point will respawn as Tommy regardless of who calls him in, which is why I kind of don't like the Tommy thing, because, hey, you died already. Why do you get to come back when I put in some work? And that's one of the main issues with the game. Now, there are 3 maps. Each round is 20 minutes, as I previously said. There's 1 Jason, 7 counselors. You're out to either kill everybody or live. Jason comes with a couple abilities right off the bat. He has a shift ability. He has a warp ability. He has like a stealth ability and a sense ability. Now, what each one of these does, a shift one allows you to kind of turn invisible and speed your way through a, short distance, and the person loses track of you, you can get right in front of them and kind of get those great horror moment kills where he's behind you, you come around a corner, all of a sudden he's in front of you. That's kind of what it allows you to do. The, I believe, warp ability, where it pulls up the map and you can pick anywhere on the map and you just warp there, literally, like the Enterprise. The sensibility, if you're close to somebody, allows you to kind of sense out that individual, so the whole world will go black and white, and the person, wherever they are at, will turn bright red, allowing you to track them down and kill them. Pretty simple. Then there's the stealth ability, which pretty much sounds exactly like that. You go into stealth mode. It stops the music from being playing, so people have a hard time detecting you. It silences your footsteps, and you can pretty much sneak up on anybody unsuspecting. And that's pretty much it for the counselors and Jason. Now it's your turn to survive. Now I want to go into my personal review of the game. I love the game. It's fantastic. If you can get with a group of friends and get into a party, it's amazing. It's a good time regardless of who's Jason or who's a counselor. It's a lot of fun. One of the downfalls that I have found from playing online is a lot of people do not have microphones. Now, the map is quite large. You're put in one particular area of the map, and you're trying to find items to start cars that could be anywhere on the map. And when people don't talk or communicate to each other, makes it a really difficult time to try and find those items when someone might have them running through the forest and gets killed by Jason. Now that loot is somewhere in the middle of the forest and you will never find it. There's no rhyme or reason. You're never going to find it. That's really my one main gripe about it. There have been matchmaking connection issues. There have been some glitches in the game, which for the most part have been fixed with a couple updates now. Matchmaking has been reduced significantly, so you're able to get into games super easy now. And a lot of the glitches and some of the loot spawning has been fixed. Obviously, they're continuing working on it, but they're doing a great job at getting things done. And outside of that, that's really my only gripe, is people not using microphones in a survival horror game where you really have to work together. Really getting all the battery, the keys, and the gas all at once is the luck of the draw. So guys, go out and get this game. It's $39.99, which is a little steep for this, 3-map experience kind of thing, but it is a great game. It's a lot of fun if you're playing with some friends, and just seeing the awesome kills is great. So guys, this is Taylor with Tay and K. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Please stay tuned for our new videos coming out here very shortly, and watch some old videos while you're here. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.
Hold out, don't give it up. Good things can come to the